YouTubers, Troz here, back with more Cube World. I've played about 6 hours now, and I've, let's say, figured out more of the game. So I'd like to tell you about what I've found. First, it's morning, but night gets really dark. So make sure you use your light. By default, that is bound to the F key. It's almost pitch black in areas at night, so it really helps. It's not very big though, and well, I've been told that the light circle gets bigger as you level up, but you can see I'm still level 1. I do have a bunch of improvements. You can see my weapon level is way up. In fact, I also have a star for armor level. Speaking of the stars, let's... in the options, you can set the rarity to as stars or color-coded. Color-coded is the default. I like these stars because to me that's a lot clearer. I don't have to guess is, you know, blue or purple better. I just count the number of stars. But yeah, basically, this is a completely different game from the alpha version of Cube World. The alpha version of Cube World was more of a traditional RPG in that, you know, you would fight monsters, you kill them, you get some experience. Eventually, you get enough experience to gain a level, and that would make your attacks get a little better. Occasionally, also, then mobs would drop armor and stuff, or you could craft armor. But it was mostly by killing lots of mobs that you would increase your level. That is now no longer the case. Basically, your level depends on your gear. And at first, that's really hard to come by better gear. You want to fight, at first, basically pet animals. You know, like the cats, the cows, pigs. As of, I guess today, there should be or by the time you're seeing this, it would be yesterday or something. There should be an update out that will start you always near town. Probably you want to go into the town first. If you're already playing, you can press the map and zoom in using the mouse wheel. You can left click to rotate the map, right click to drag it around, and if you look around, you know, you'll see places. I already have this all. You'll see places with these dark dots, and if you zoom in, you'll see actual buildings, and that's a town. So if I came, you know, this is probably a town here. Yep, that is a town. You can also middle click or mouse wheel click to put a star, and then even on the mini-map, you'll see the star, but only if you're zoomed out far enough that it is in the area. Again, when you have the mini-map, you can also use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So that helps you find your way if you want to get someplace. You can zoom far out enough until you see the star and make sure you head in that direction. But yeah, you want to kill a few animals, ones with white names, to get a few gold. Maybe 20, 30 gold at first. And then you would come into town, and let's zoom in a little. You can see the kind of armor, the armor picture above a house. They'll also have a little sign. You come here, you talk. The armorer should have poor armor, but armor nonetheless. Hey, that's actually better than I'm currently. As you see, the first armor is going to cost you, 15 to 20. Another town I was in had some armor for 10. But you want to get a piece or two of armor. Let me actually purchase that. you just walk away, you hit B, and you click, and I should now have those on my feet. I think it was the boots, right? Okay, yeah. As you see, I have better weapons now, though. So how did I get those better weapons? Oops. There we go. Well, I did a lot of exploring, and a lot of dying, and a lot of running from mobs. But as you can see, the one thing you want to look for is those, the respawn points, or what are they called? The life statues. I don't think that's actually what they're called. I wish there was a run. I have a sneak, which is half speed, but that doesn't really help. I guess I can dodge. That's not really much faster. So you want to, anywhere you go while you're exploring Shrines of Life, you want to come to these, and if you press R, or the use button, for me it's R, I've remapped my keys, I think it's E by default, you turn it into a respawn point. It also happens to be a warp point, so there are all these blue dots. So if I want to go someplace, I can literally just, you know, click one and fast travel there. That costs nothing, and it gets you around. But you want to explore. You also want to talk to any groups of NPCs you find out in the world, especially on roads. And if you're lucky, they'll give you a quest, which will show up, you know, as one of these named places. You'll also find these named places just by walking by them. Like, I found this one by walking by it. This one, I know I was told about it from an NPC. I haven't gone there yet. Eventually, you'll find a few of them. Like, this is 1 star. 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 Even though they're 1 star, though, like this, I went here, I almost died. I went here, I did die like 3 or 4 times. Like this one is actually related to the town I was in. This town, everyone was petrified, and I later was told that a witch had put them under under a spell, and I'd have to kill the witch to lift the spell. So I came here, tried to attack the witch, and I died several times. Let's get rid of the star that was there. So I eventually left and went somewhere else. Eventually, I, went over here, and this was about on my level. There were, this is a graveyard. There was like 4 necromancers and some undead dog, but all of them had like 150. At least the necromancers had 150 health. I don't recall what the undead dog did, but the necromancers were keeping the dog healed. So I had to kill the necromancers. I did die 2 or 3 times, but eventually I got them all down, and then I was able to kill the dog. And he dropped a better weapon. Not the one I'm using right now, but a blue bow. I actually prefer boomerangs, mostly because they do like multiple hits. This one does like 45 damage per hit, and they do like 2 or 3 hits. Oh, shoulder armor, look at that. I should read my, where's, there we go. Anyhow, I also do want that gold, because I can make a gold medallion that's better than the one that I bought. Okay. So, once I got the better bow, I was then able to come over and kill the witch. I also was able to come over here and kill the guys over here with some undead skeletons and stuff. I believe this little marker means that there was a crafting book that gave me green recipes. I mean, there was a crafting book that gave me green recipes from the boss there. I believe that marker that it means that, and so like, if I kill this thing, I'll get the purple crafting recipe book. This won't give me the blue crafting recipe book. This won't give me the orange crafting recipe book. But all of that stuff and all the stuff I've found so far are only good in this zone, and that was not true previously. Eventually, though, what is this? It's for a rogue, but I can sell it. So eventually, once you clear enough, or actually, I believe it's... How do I get this? There we go. Tilt. After you find enough lore, each of these little balloons here is a lore. You'll be told that there is an artifact, and I've been told there's an artifact here. You see, that's yellow. It's 5 stars. I actually have been here, and I couldn't figure out how to get to the artifact. But there is a few things you can pick up along the way. Like, over here, I got a boat, and so now I can sail in the waters. However, as soon as I cross one of these lines, the boat disappears. The boat and all your stuff, like these items, are only usable in this zone. I found that harp, whatever it is. Not really a harp. Let's see, what is it? It's under special. It is a harp, divine harp. And here was the magic book of crafting. That gets me the green items I can craft now. I also did go out to the desert over here, and I found some climbing boots. But again, those climbing boots were only good in the desert. In the desert, basically, well, I wasn't this upgraded yet, but it was almost like I had 0 armor. So I don't know what kind of discount it is, but it seems your stuff is worth only like a quarter, or maybe even less, maybe only a tenth of its normal, armor or damage. Basically, I did not kill anything in the desert. I just went around. I did find those boots, and I did find the town, but at that time I didn't even have enough money to buy decent armor or anything in that town. But if you stay in one area, you eventually get good, gear and are able to do some serious damage. So I'm gonna go here, because that seems like the next place to go. And we'll see how we do. I did find a pet. That is something you also want to do if you're... There's my little boat. If you're in a town, look if any of the vendors... I think it's in the potion shop or whatever that sells any food. There are a few websites, or there's a wiki that will tell you what food works for which animals. At least, if they worked in the original, or the alpha version of the game, let's say, they still seem to work, but I did find one food that is not on the list, so I'm assuming it's for a new animal type. But a pet definitely helps if you can get one in the early game. They will, do damage and also, take the attention of any mobs at least a bit away from you. So you don't get the full-on damage. Another important tip is buy a few empty bottles in a town. Jump into some water. Oh, this is not water, but... and then go into your crafting menu. And you can craft water flasks. I do have one empty bottle, but like it says, it requires water. Once you have a water flask, you can then come over here and make a life potion by combining it with the heart flowers. I hope they fix that goes off. You can also, I don't know if it's automatic that you know these. I think it may be, but you can get elixirs of power, which increases your damage for 10 minutes by making, by getting some mushrooms and these, I think they're called dragon roots. Yeah. And toughness comes from, that's a water drop, I think, or dewdrop and mushrooms. You'll occasionally get dewdrops from certain things. Not entirely sure what. So here's the graveyard. I'm not entirely sure what I need to do over here. But hey, look, there's a bunch of zombie peoples. He'll attack me. He's a necromancer. Back there he goes. I'm going to dodge by pressing the middle mouse button. Yes, always learn your skills and use them because they help out a lot. Dodge. That's not what you want to do. I actually even clicked use a health life potion, and I still died. Can I, Well, I could make it in the boat, except I hit land. And now I can just come over here. I probably want to stay away from these mermaids. I'm assuming there's an NPC I need to talk to at the graveyard. There was one other graveyard that I was at that was filled with skeletons, and there was an NPC there that said to kill the bone piles. Ooh, that I think is a pet food. I'm not sure which pet that's for. Yes. NPCs will kill things and not pick up the drops, so if you see that, feel free. Also, if you're in bed, in bad trouble, run towards some NPCs. If they're friendly, they will likely help you out. And he dropped the glass flask. That's nice and helpful. Yeah, I'm trying to help out. Hey you, could you maybe help me? Yeah, okay. Fight them. Sure thing. I had a quest similar to this. I mean, it wasn't at a graveyard, but it's basically fight them. There's probably a boss around here somewhere. Heal. something I should mention. I believe if a NPC's name is blue, they are friendly. Green is neutral. And obviously, not their name, but their the XP bar. And red is hostile. Meanwhile, let's, that's not what I wanted. Hit tab to flip the, then your left and right keys. Foods take time to eat and you can't move. But the life potions, you can drink and run at the same time. I'm I guess a sniper class, and it seems like I get a bonus in damage for consecutive hits. That wasn't good. So I was trying to switch back from apples to potions, but apparently you can't do that on the run. And to eat an apple, I would have to sit down, and yeah, that was going to kill me as well, so... I guess while I'm here I should switch it back. That mermaid would be hostile, but apparently they don't have that big of an aggro range. So I think what I really have to do is find the boss of the area. I mean, I could clear out everybody. And maybe that is what I have to do. I should also really be using my stealth. That basically gives me... I can sneak up closer, plus it fills my MP so I can do my charge shot first, which, well, typically does knock him out temporarily. Alright. Let's eat. I also am not using my shadow shooter skill, which I really should be doing. I'm not sure if it does any damage, but it distracts him. It may also do damage. Let's do some stealth. Oop, I have to hold that down. Oh, that was fantastic. Probably damaged that person earlier. Oh, I am doing quite well with that, so let's keep that up. This seems like a good strategy for this class. here while I'm here. Okay, I am full on dragon roots. Not sure how a cotton plant was hiding bombs, but... well, that wasn't good. Let's try that again. That was a wand. I can't use it, but it should sell well. Okay, a little close there on the health. I need to keep an eye on that, and I'm still not using the Shadow Shooter skill. Let's make sure to use that in the next encounter. Alright, this is actually going well. A little slow, but and, you know, like I was using a bow, well, before this, so this is actually the first combat I'm in with this new boomerang, but I think I've figured it out. So these green level guys are no trouble for me. I could probably take on blues as well if I just took it slow and had enough healing. Which, with the amount of gold I have, shouldn't be an issue. I probably can go to a town and get a good 20 or probably even more flasks and healing potions. So I could even, you know, sort of semi-tank even more difficult enemies. Yeah, stealth works a lot better if you're not moving. At least until you're fully stealthed. That was not good. Okay, I needed to switch back to my potions. Let's do that now. And apparently I died closer to this Statue of Life. So we respawned at it instead. I don't think anybody will respawn. Or I don't think many people will respawn. Let's say that. We'll have to see. Oh, I can ride my cat. Because I found that... Is it a leash or a lasso or... Reins. And that's actually much faster. The default key to ride a pet is T. Not all pets are rideable, but many are. Cats being one of them. As soon as you make any combat move, you dismount. So I like press stealth. That caused me to dismount. What can we eat? No, you're all 15. If I would have thought of it, I should have made... Oh, I wasn't near water. That's fine. There used to be wells in towns. I have not seen one yet, but I can't rule out them existing. So you can jump into wells to fill your flasks if you find one. But there's rivers all over the place. Ah! Come on, I was dodging. Alright. This way. And there's no water along the way to fill some flasks. I think I have one or two empty ones from drops. But they're cheap. Well, if I remember correctly, the game used to actually have copper, silver, and gold, and it was 100 copper per silver, 100 silver per gold. It seems there's only coins now, which, I mean, they look gold to me. But, so everything is at least one coin. But, you know, it still means I can get quite a few flasks without really denting my, you know, wealth at this point. You can pick up stuff while you are riding your pet. Alright, we should have this place nearly cleared out at this point. Battle-tested iron fists. For where, but not sure how much stuff you can hold. I do know there are limits, like I know you can only hold 5 apples for some reason. Apples are actually quite easy to find around towns. Usually there'll be a few trees that have apples below them. So they make a good early healing food. It's free. There used to be a lot more free food, I believe, in the alpha version of the game, but apples are the only one I've really come across. So Alright, I'm gonna say I think I'm done, but I haven't seen a reward. So I'm assuming maybe in the actual crypt here, or it looks like there's a few more guys over here. Although I did see a KO, so maybe that guy... there's a boss over here that I missed. I think I just did help you. Okay. Well, there's a few more over here. That may be a boss. Oh no, that's just a wizard guy. Oh, my cat died. Yeah, I'm fighting them. Thank you. Cotton. There's a dewdrop. Yeah, if your pet dies, it will come back in 15 or 20 seconds. Yes, I'm trying to... I don't know if these guys respawned or I just missed them. That's a pet food, I bet. I think at this point I have like 3 that I haven't used. The croissant. I think I have cotton candy. Check. What I should be doing is eating. Alright. Is there a door here? There's a door here. Light. Okay, that's... Is this an upstairs? It's really narrow. I can climb, though. Hold on. Ooh. It was a little awkward to get up here. And there's nothing up here. Not really sure that's supposed to be like that. So I was going to say I think we were done here, but there's obviously a guy right here. Let's stealth again, because that was a total whiff. Alright. Surely we must be nearly done. Let's check this other side. Yeah, so this is basically the gameplay loop. This is taking a lot longer than any of the other areas that I've been to so far. But it's beat like a kind of quest thing. Get rewards, which from what I... Oh, he's named. He's the boss. We're gonna take out this guy, so... and we want to make sure we're on life potion, of which we only have one. But it's beat this guy and get the reward. And as far as I understand, at least there'll be an item for your class always. Try to dodge. Craft. 2 water flasks. 2 more life potions. That's the same key to ride your pet is call your pet, which it sometimes gets stuck on stuff, so calling it will make it teleport to you. Well, this is a bit longer than I wanted, but let's see if we can beat this boss. It's the first mage boss. Well, no, I can't say that. The witch was basically a mage, but the witch didn't have a killer laser beam. I wonder if I can get one of those guys to help, if I can aggro this guy. Dodge roll. There we go. Well, there goes the last line. Yeah, well, I'm not sure I can beat him at the moment. I probably need more health potions, which means going to a town, buying some. I definitely can afford them. Or at least the flasks to make them. But yeah, that is the basic gameplay loop. Eventually, like I said, you get powerful enough to get this artifact. Well, there's artifacts you'll get. They're And eventually, let's close the map. I've been told the artifacts permanently increase some of your stats, including your light radius. There used to be, in the alpha version, lamps you could buy. But I haven't seen a lamp. And, but I did read that your light radius was one of the things that gets permanently upgraded. As well as, like, your damage stats and some other things like that. And artifacts do work in other areas. Once you do have an artifact, I've heard that the bosses in the area begin dropping armor with pluses after their name, which means it's not good in just the area you're in. Let's see, like, none of these have pluses, but they're also good in the kingdom. What's not clear is how big kingdoms are, but from what I've read, it's at least the surrounding areas from where you got it, possibly up to 2 areas away, but there's nothing on the map that shows where the kingdom is. It would be nice if, like, it had a red border or something, but you can see I have gotten information on many different artifacts at this point. You can shoot less, not like that. Another lamp, riding speed. But yeah, when you're in a new zone, that's almost like starting over, unless you have some of this plus armor. So I'm sure you don't want to watch me die against this boss again, but that's the new Cube World. Quite a bit different leveling mechanics, but the combat is basically the same, except, like, unless you need gold, there's no point of fighting random mobs. And maybe you can help me. So the game, well, yeah, the minute-to-minute play is somewhat the same. The overall gameplay is quite a bit different. You used to be able to go exploring wherever you want, where now the focus is, hey, finish one area, get all the artifacts you can from it, and then move on to other areas, at which point, normally games' new areas are harder, but apparently everyone is playing on this same map. You just spawn in different areas. You can see my coordinates are 6 million something by 100. So everyone is playing on the same map. You're just in wildly different locations. So instead of having some areas harder than others, at which point people can start in those areas, basically when you go to a new area, your items become nearly worthless. And I'm not sure what the exact ratio is of worthlessness, but to me it seemed like maybe only 1/4 or maybe even 1/10 of their original power. So you definitely need to go get and farm new gear, because, you know, even if you were able to kill, you know, blue or purple guys, the, you know, green guys will be hurting you again. So I'm not quite sure how I feel on that, but it definitely is an interesting way to do it. If you do play multiplayer, which if you're at a town, I have heard, and you know, if you're playing multiplayer and in a town, the Eagle Master there will allow you to fly to your friends for free, where normally the flight cost is at least 100 gold to fly to other places. So that's the one nice thing, you can get to your friends for free and then play together with them. Of course, they're likely in a different zone, so most of your gear will be worthless. But hey, now you're playing and, you know, playing together with a group, so that will, you know, they can help you kill some creatures and get gold or decent armor. As you can see, I picked up armor, like I got a warrior thing, rogue, so I'm sure they have some armor they could lend you when you meet up. So I think there's definitely a benefit to playing with each other. I haven't figured out what leftovers are. I do kind of remember them from the alpha, but I'm not sure they do the same thing. You can go to crafting tables in towns and actually add onto your weapons. And customization tables, I think they're called. And that adds some damage. A 1/10 of damage or so per block you add. And I think you can add different types of blocks, like, I'm not sure if you can add, you know, gold onto a wooden thing, but, I have some gems here. So maybe the gems add extra damage or certain types of effects. I don't know, I haven't tried it out yet. There's still a lot I don't know about this game. But, that's what I know so far, and hopefully, you found this helpful. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more cubes and more worlds. See you then.